Hi, my love. Welcome. This is going to be your Howl at the Moon reading. The Howl at the Moon reading is going to be a tarot and oracle intuitive reading. I'm actually going to be working with a spread, so that is what this paper is here for. But I'm going to be working with a spread, and we're going to be looking at the question of what is your lover's bond and relationship like with their dog? So we're going to be looking at the dog and owner relationship, and we're going to see how things are. Will they improve? Will it, what is to come of this relationship? So we're going to keep that intention with that. And as far as the cards going, I think I'm going to use the Halloween Oracle and my Santa Muerte Tarot, as well as the Trigger Tarot. So I think I'm going to use those three decks. All right, so let's start with the first part. Oh, actually, no. I just got done with another reading, so let me cleanse the cards first. My incense already finished, so let me just go ahead and use the sage. So cleanse the cards real quick. And I ask spirit guides come through for my client. Any messages you want them to receive, may you relay it through the cards and me. I also asked for Parker's spirit guides to come through too. Parker is the dog. That'll be interesting to see, to read on Parker's energy. So yes, animals have energy, obviously. They have energy, they have auras, they're just like us. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to start with the full moon, the energy of the question. So the energy of the relationship between Parker and their owner. I don't want to say names. I don't mind saying an animal's name, but for the sake of confidentiality. Energy of their relationship. Ooh, so we have the Ghost card coming up with regret. Oops. Ooh, see how the shuffling is messy? So sometimes see how that's messy? I pay attention to the shuffling too. If the cards are shuffling difficult, that tells me that the relationship is very difficult. Or it started out difficult, okay? So I do keep an eye on the way the cards shuffle, because that's the energy of the people in question. Oh, two cards came out, okay. I'm using two different oral tarot card decks. You know what? Because we're reading for the two, this is going to be Parker's, okay? Parker is going to be with the Santa Muerte Tarot, and I'm going to use the Trigger Tarot for their owner. That'll be easier for me. Okay. So, Ghost card is coming up with regrets, okay? In terms of the energy of the question that we're asking. So this is telling me that their relationship is filled with regrets, okay? So I feel like maybe there's regrets based off of the owner, where the owner maybe didn't try hard enough, or the owner didn't establish a very supportive or natural bond with the animal. There could also have been regrets based off of past pets, okay? So maybe the owner had a past pet, and it was like they did too much comparing, I feel. And so it was almost like Parker's energy wasn't good enough, kind of a feel too. But there's also, I feel, regret as well with not trying hard enough. That's like the energy that I'm feeling with this card. Now, from Parker's perspective of this question, we have the Seven of Pentacles coming up and the World. Seven of Pentacles is working hard. Seven of Pentacles is working hard, but then you also kind of get to the point of not wanting to try anymore, okay? And then the World card is kind of like, I feel like Parker's, vision of this whole relationship, this whole perspective is seeing the world within, their owner. So I feel like Parker kind of is like tried, and then it has been since given up or hasn't been as motivated, okay? But hasn't really been motivated with the energy, with the relationship, with this bond. Now, the owner's perspective, we have the Eight of Pentacles and we have the High Priestess. This is interesting. So the owner's perspective with the Eight of Pentacles coming up is telling me that they have been working on bettering this bond, okay? So maybe that's where the regret is coming on, because I do feel the regret is held more so on the owner than it is on Parker. So I feel like the owner is definitely doing their best to make changes. And I feel like maybe they feel like they've done it too late. Okay. The High Priestess coming up is definitely telling me that the owner's connection with Parker is very intuitive. So maybe the owner has maybe you have natural intuitive abilities, like you just sense things with animals. You feel like you could read Parker's mind. Or this card is also coming up as guidance for you to start to use your intuition more. Listen to your intuition more when it comes to the way you connect with Parker, okay? Not so much coming from an egotistical perspective, but more of an intuitive approach. Hopefully that makes sense. Next, we're going to look at the Werewolf, the change or action that needs to take place. So we're going to do the same spread here. The change or action that needs to take place. Ooh, we have invisibility, authority. So let's look at Parker's. What Parker needs to change. And what you need to do to change. So what I'm seeing with the Werewolf, what change or action needs to take place? We have the invisibility card, or authenticity. Sorry, I read it as authority. But authenticity. You guys, the situation, it needs to be more authentic, okay? It needs to be more real. It needs to be natural. I feel like it needs to be wanted more so too. Nothing is going to work out if it's being forced, okay? So it needs to be more authentic, trying out natural ways of connecting, natural ways of bonding, okay? Going and doing natural type of activities, because if you're forcing this bond, it's not going to feel real because it's like forced, you know what I mean? So I feel like first off, the energy of this bond needs to have a little bit more of an authentic feel to it. From Parker's perspective, there is the Three of Wands. I feel like Parker is more of an observer with this card, okay? So Parker needs to observe more of what's going on around them, okay? It's hard for an animal to have action. Like I'll just say that too with the Three of Wands. There's only so much we can ask the dog to do, right? So I feel like the Three of Wands is definitely indicating that Parker is observing and just kind of really feeling out the situation. By him even being present to observe and feel out the situation is big. So pay no mind if Parker isn't as super active, okay? Because I feel like that may be another thing too. Maybe it's like the owner, maybe you were used to having a more I was going to say aggressive, but more of an active, motivated dog. And maybe Parker is turning out to be a little bit more of like, not as high energy. And his personality is just different, right? I feel like there was too much comparing. So stop comparing Parker to your previous pets kind of thing. From the owner's perspective, we have the Three of Swords. So I do feel like there was brokenness involving, a past pet. Maybe you did have a dog and you miss it. You miss the way that dog would communicate, or the way that dog would receive attention, and Parker isn't the same, right? So you got to get rid of, you got to disconnect from those comparison things if that's, you know, part of this problem here. But I also feel like with the Three of Swords, it's kind of, I feel like this is softening your heart. Normally I don't read this card this way, but for you, I'm seeing it that. Sorry, I need water. I'm seeing the Three of Swords as showing you, maybe you need to break down your heart, okay? Being a little bit more soft. Parker's energy feels very much not hyper, not like super activity driven dog, but more of like a lap dog, of a lazy dog. And maybe that's what needs to happen here, is maybe you need to be a little bit more lenient, right? A little bit more lenient on that. That it's okay if Parker is not the, you know, physical dog that you had hoped for. He's a little bit more standoffish, I feel. Next we have Midnight. No, I'm sorry, Howl. Potential outcome of this relationship. The potential outcome of this relationship. Skull of Stars. Oops. Oh. Okay, beautiful. So I will say, based off of the shuffling too, I feel like a lot of the change and the hesitation has to come from the owner, okay? What I'm seeing for the potential outcome, we have the Skull of Stars, infinite possibilities. I feel like there's going to be a beautiful outcome, to be honest. I feel like there's going to be a possible coming together outcome. There's going to be beautiful connections and bonds made, okay? The outcome is infinite possibilities. There's anything can happen at this point. So that's beautiful. I feel like that's very positive. From Parker's perspective, we have the Star, which is healing and hope, okay? Parker will come around, okay? This bond and relationship, at least from Parker's point of view, will soften. It will get better. It will be better. There will be forgiveness taking place, whether that's probably on Parker's perspective, which is kind of hard, you know, if whatever he regrets or whatever he's holding on to, it's hard. It's going to be hard for you to know when he's forgiving you, because it's an animal. Like, you're not going to be able to physically hear him say, I forgive you. But definitely there's some work being done on Parker's end that will happen, okay? And then I see the Eight of Wands coming up for you. So to me, the Eight of Wands is moving forward. Okay, moving forward. Stop holding grudges. Stop holding on to the past. Stop worrying about what you could have done better. It's like you got to just take with what you have now and move forward, right? Take what you've got now and move forward. Don't worry so much about what you wished you could have done better. The past is the past, right? Now you can take control and take initiative of the future. So I do see progress. I do see definitely you guys will be coming together. I see strength in the future. It's beautiful. Absolutely. You guys are going to be okay. Midnight, how long will it take for this to happen? How long will it take for this to happen? Oop. Okay, so the Dawn card, it just fell out literally. This says the light after the darkness. Oops. I'm literally hearing the sun will come out tomorrow. That song, you know? The Dawn card. It could be as early as tomorrow. I mean, literally, it's just a shift in energy that has to happen. And more so from the owner. When you can shift your energy and the way you approach Parker and the way you feel, the way that you treat him and the way that you love him, it's a lot can change from that, because dogs are very intuitive. They feel, they know. From Parker, it is the 10 of Wands. And 2 of Wands. I love it. So I'm feeling like 2 of Wands from your perspective is working as a team, okay? One-on-one. You and Parker are spending time together alone. One-on-one. That's what needs to happen. From Parker's perspective, I'm seeing the 10 of Wands. 10 is October. 10 is next month. But also 10 of Wands is saying Parker is willing to put in the effort, okay? Will put in the effort regardless of how tough it may be, or, you know, that's what I'm getting. But I'm also saying like October, and then 2 is February. So October is next month. February is October, November, December, January, February, about 5 months. So we could safely say perhaps within 1 to 5 months, perhaps you may start to see a progress taking place with this relationship. But I feel like as soon as tomorrow, with the Dawn card, is like as soon as tomorrow, start making these energetic changes, right? Everything that was just mentioned in the reading, start making those energetic changes and see what takes place. See how Parker responds to your energy changing, and then vice versa, okay? Lastly, we have the Oracle cards for insight. So I'm just going to pull from my Madame Endora's Fortune cards, since I didn't use this deck. So some Oracle cards for insight. The Hand of Fate. Forces beyond your control intervene. So this is spirit, okay? This is spirit intervening. This is past pets and on the other side intervening, okay? They're going to come through. They're going to help out. They're going to lay a hand on the situation. You may not be able to control it because you can't see them, right? But they are there. So if there is a pet that you wish or you miss, that you wish you can connect with, that maybe you've compared Parker to, you got to learn to let that pet go too. I feel like that's also coming up with this card. We have the Hourglass. Time is of the essence. Again, time is of the essence. This needs to start changing as soon as tomorrow, right? Time is of the essence is kind of indicating the longer you put it off, the longer you wait, the more regrets that will be there that are heavy. This is something that it's really time sensitive. Don't put it off. Don't procrastinate it is what I want to say. And lastly, we have the King, authority and diplomacy, establishing your authority, okay? But don't be a super aggressively mean owner. You want to establish your authority to teach new mannerisms for Parker, to teach Parker of how, you respect, you want to receive, but vice versa. But I feel like also when you step up to the plate with authority and you act, like the king in a nice way, in a loving and understanding way, I feel like Parker's energy will be very receptive to that. So I do feel like this is a really good progress that is being made, and I feel like you guys will get to a place of a good, healthy relationship. So I hope that this resonates. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or feedback, please leave it or send me an email. Don't leave it in the comments. Send me an email. And anyone who is watching, these are my fall and Halloween readings. They are available through to the end of October. I'm currently going through a sale right now for Labor Day weekend, so all of these readings are on sale, about $5 off, through to Monday. So if you want to book one right now, go ahead. You can get it at a discount. Everything is on my website. And until then, my loves, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, and I hope that you and Parker have a beautiful, loving bond and a closer relationship, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, loves.